Hello everybody, my name is Max and welcome back to From the Depths. You join me today on the deck of my Jupiter class Dreadnaught. However, before I get into showing my new Dreadnaught, which is not this Jupiter class, I just have a couple of announcements. I would like to first of all thank you all for 25 subscribers. That's 24 more than I thought I was going to get, so cheers for that. The other thing I want to do is thank Damadoc, Kevin, Legal and Lilakari for pitching in and helping me out with my most recent Dreadnaught. They answered all my questions which I threw at them, so I appreciate that. I know I did throw a lot of not so good questions, and I think I did make the Dreadnaught a lot better. They didn't help build it, I built it on my own, but they did answer all my questions, so they do deserve a thank you, so cheers for that. Anyway, this is the Jupiter class. It's a rather poor Dreadnaught. The cannons aren't very good, the cram cannons don't really do anything, the active defenses are not enough, and the armor or the passive defense is woefully inadequate. So we decided to change that. And the first thing that you'll notice about the new Dreadnaught, this is the Saturn Class Dreadnought, is we're trying out a new front here for the first time. We're using some transition blocks as opposed to just normal slopes on the front of this one. And I think we've actually made it look a lot more like an actual ship as opposed to, you know, whatever that looks like. Anyway, of course we got our standard armored propellers under here, which is what's holding the ship up. We have a torpedo battery here because I have learned my lesson. Every single ship has torpedoes on now, and of course we have some more propellers on the back here. I've been trying to move around some of these side propellers. I did manage to strap another side propeller on the front here. Unfortunately, I don't really know where to put another propeller on the back without ruining the sort of slope that I've got going on. So that was some of the feedback I got. I haven't quite managed to work on that as much as I would like to. I did manage to strap one here, but I couldn't really find anywhere else to put it. So we'll have to work on that for the next design. Keep in mind that we need to have the propellers more at the front, but everything's a learning experience. Of course, we have our new battleship turrets, Dreadnought turrets, Dreadnought battleship. I flip-flop between the two, of whether this is a Dreadnought or a battleship. Maybe you guys can help me decide if it's a Dreadnought or a battleship. It's just about 1 million materials. God, I swear I can read. We're looking at 4 or 5 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of armor. We got some reinforced decking on the top, 2 layers of metal, and then a layer of light alloy. The idea was, this was the idea, is that if there was like a Hess shell or something, it would hit the wood, and then it would go metal, and then alloy, and alloy is weaker than wood, so it wouldn't do as much damage. That was the plan, that's why alloy is on the bottom. But perhaps next time I will use more alloy and less metal, or maybe I'll just do another layer of alloy on the bottom here. I don't know. That's all to be decided. Anyway, let's have a look at these cannons. So this is what we're looking at right now. Of course, all of them have the ammo customizers on board. Yes, just ignore that. That's just to keep it balanced, because if it's not symmetrical, it annoys me. This is what we're loading at the moment. It's a hollow point solid with frags and HE. We will be changing this at some point to probably just solid shot. Solid shot with armor piercing, but at the moment we're keeping it with this. It seems to do good enough. I know I have to replace this with another another design. I did already get some feedback for another design. If you guys have an idea of what this could be, again, let me know. The gun itself is just 400mm. We're not going with the standard 500mm because I always go for the largest guns possible. This time we decided to go with something else, so it's just 400mm. Of course, it is a railgun. It's not really a very big railgun. As you can see, this one is limited to just 10,000 capacity. Not great. However, if we check in on the top gun, which is this one here, we'll see that the capacity is 20,000 instead of 10,000. That's just because the top gun had a lot more space, obviously, in here to strap on some more rail charges. In fact, there they are. And that's what allowed us to increase the capacity so much. So this top gun and this gun does a lot more damage than that gun does. But that's just how the cookie crumbles. More work needed on the turrets, perhaps, especially on the turret caps. But I believe we may have to leave that for another another ship design because I don't know how much space there is left. Heavy armor on the front of the turrets. I wanted to have them 2 blocks thick at the minimum. I couldn't quite manage to make that work, so heavy armor on the front to try and prevent explosions. You may have noticed that we have another turret here, 137 millimeters, with, you know, at least enough recoil absorbers to absorb most of it. 112 rounds per minute, 2 guns, so we're looking at about 224 rounds per minute. It's not too bad. It is a double duty gun, which is maybe an interesting idea. It's funny, I could have... oh, that's right, I'm on the other ship, aren't I? Sorry, hang on, stand by. There we go. So it's a double duty gun. Fires these solid shot, armor-piercing, high explosive fragmentation, proximity fuse shells. So all of these make it pretty crap at everything that it does, but at least it can do everything. So it can shoot down rather large cram cannons coming, and that's what it's designed for. And it can also engage enemy boats, or maybe enemy planes if it needs to. On the sides here, you'll see that we have these 2 small guns. Let's have a look. They fire... hang on. 258 rounds per minute. There we go. So again, not the fastest firing guns. I could make them... you know, I could give them 5 guns and 5 barrels, and they would be a lot quicker. But I like the idea of having them be double duty guns as well. Again, they can engage air targets, land targets, and they can also engage what they're really designed to do, which is take out enemy cram cannons that are incoming. On the side here, we've got some just standard light rocket launchers, I guess. Missile launchers, just to engage enemy aircraft which might be flying around, giving us trouble. Also, we've got these simple weapons strapped on here, these L casemated guns. Again, just to add a tiny little bit more damage output. We might strap on another casemate gun, maybe down here, maybe at the front. It depends. If we really need more like damage, we can, but at the moment, I think we're fine. And then at the top here, we have these R-Class .50 AA guns, or 50 cals. Not really that effective at anything, but they do make it look cool, and you know, that's the most important thing. Probably. That's probably the most important thing. Anyway, so it's a reasonably good ship, and I think it's time to do a combat test. So let's get rid of this Jupiter class Dreadnaught, because we don't need it. That wouldn't be a fair test. While that's deleting, I'd just like to point out that I tried to make this a lot thinner and a lot longer than my previous ships, and I think I did actually manage to somewhat pull it off. It almost looks like a real ship, so that's good. I think the only problem with its looks is that I shouldn't have gone one wider here. See where it kind of like bulges out and then it goes straight down. I think that looks kind of weird, but other than that, not too bad. The other thing which I'm kind of like on the fence about is if I want to move this second tower behind this smoke funnel, which still has all my smoke coming out of it. I did get some feedback on moving the moving the exhaust pipes down and exhausting it under the ship, and then having the smoke funnels as just decoys with maybe some smoke dispensers in to make them look good. And I really did think about it, but the problem which I had is that I had actually like layered the armor around the engine, in the sense that it was kind of committed to going up unless I wanted to like completely strip all the armor out of the engine, which probably would have only taken about an hour, but I'm lazy. So they're still coming out the top, and hopefully that'll be fine. If it isn't fine, which it probably won't be, but if it isn't, we can always move it down to the bottom at the end. But yeah, so combat testing. Let's do it. There is a crossbones, which is not really that expensive of a ship, I know. That's what that's what we're fighting at the moment. So you see that we do deal with most of the cram shells before they land. In fact, I think we actually dealt with all of them that time around. Yeah, we did. Just some light damage to the front turret there. And if we switch to... oh, hang on. Oh, I did actually turn the AI off, which is probably why it isn't moving. Anyway, if we go look at how much damage we're doing, we should see that we are shredding this ship. And indeed we are. And indeed, it appears that the entire game has crashed. No, there we go, it's recovered. I don't know why, but it does seem that the Saturn Class really lags out my computer a little bit, which is a little bit concerning, because I don't think I've had it lag out as much with any other ship, but perhaps the Saturn Class just has a lot of guns firing. Indeed, you can see that there is constantly damage being done to the crossbones, and I do believe that it is slipping below the waves. What a good ship. What a good ship. Not a bad ship. So crossbones is only 200,000, so we haven't really proven anything. So let's switch it to automatic mode or whatever. There we go. Alright, so we can't really do crossbones again, can we? So let's try something else. I don't know. Steel striders? Oh, hang on. Stand by. I have to do that. I've never tested anything against the steel striders before, so I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna go. Got no clue. I didn't really design it for this, but it's a Dreadnaught. It should be able to take on anything. Well, seems to be working quite well. I'm not seeing a lot of counter. Oh, where did that come from? Ooh, it does have some pretty intense missile batteries apparently. That must be the way that it deals with. Shit. Are we winning? Are we losing? 97? 95. We're winning. Yes. Uh-oh. Well, what a good time to inspect the armor. It did actually do its job. It absorbed most of the impact. Oof. That's an ammo rack. I believe we are done. Oh no. No, not an ammo rack. Just a turret explosion. Yeah, we got some thick armor on the sides here, and some thick armor around the turrets as well. I think it's unlucky that we had an explosion there. I'll have to look at what happened there, because I think that might have been a... it just got one of the turrets and took out the other one as well, which we can't really have, can we? We don't really have any ability to repair any damage at the moment. Haven't added any repair bots, so that's still to come. Our CWIS system seems to be doing quite well at disabling the enemy missiles, which are descending in the heavens. Yep, we got rid of all of them though. Are we doing 89 versus 85? Okay. Let's go have a look at the Thresher Shark then. It seems to have a really arcing missile barrage. I'm not quite sure why. I've also never looked at a Thresher Shark, so who knows what this thing looks like? Let's find out. What even is it? It's got a particle cannon. Ah, I see, I see. That would explain a lot. But I can also see that our ship is still doing the damage that it needs to be doing. Constant fire raining down, blocks flying off everywhere. Yeah, I think we might actually win this, despite the fact that it did give us a good a good first volley. We are stripping armor off it. The only problem that we are having is that it is like halfway below the water, so we are having some trouble actually landing any shots. Oh, so they're huge missiles. They're actually only large missiles, so... But that would explain why the missiles are doing so much damage to us. Now, our torpedoes, however, always hit. We've got a good EMP surge as well, which is probably what's keeping us in it. We probably disabled the AI on this main turret, at least that's what it looks like. Oh, below 80% health and sinking. Yes. Well, congratulations to the Saturn Class. It has defeated the Steel Striders. A good faction? I don't know. A good craft that we dealt with? I have no clue. But you can see that the armor took a beating. It took an absolute pounding, and it's still alive. Let's see, we can look straight into the engine room now. There's the LAN system there. I should probably say that I didn't design the engines. I got them from the engine platform or whatever. But yeah, perfect. Yeah, so the front and, well, the bow and the stern of the ship, if we're being technical, are the least armoured places in the entire ship. You can see that we've only got one layer between the outside world and it, but there isn't really anything important here. And there's 3 layers of metal between it and the actual turret ring. Anyway, so Thresher destroyed. We survived. We took an absolute pounding, but we survived. We've got a bunch of empty space left as well, so I don't know if I really want to fill that up. Like, we're already at quite an expensive ship, so I think we might just leave it. But again, if you guys have any advice for how to fill space, that would be much appreciated. Oh yeah, just ignore this engine here. The ship was quite slow, and I couldn't really find anywhere else to put any more propellers, so I was like, right, we'll strap on a simple jet engine. It was an ion engine in the beginning, but I did get a comment on one of my last videos that ion engines weren't very effective, so I replaced them with this jet engine. There was a jet engine up here as well, but I got rid of that. So yeah, this is our new Dreadnaught, the Saturn Class Dreadnaught. I don't know if I'm going to continue the campaign I just started, or if I'm going to start a new campaign. I'll definitely be playing a campaign with one of my buddies, and that will probably be obviously a new campaign. So I might just, you know, we probably won't be having campaign gameplay until I get a chance to play with him. And but this, I'm sure this boat will definitely make it into the campaign somewhere. I probably won't be bringing many of my boats to the campaign. Before the first video, I'll probably have a little video just summing up what boats we are bringing and what boats we aren't bringing. But I'm sure this boat will make it. I'm pretty confident the Jupiter class is not going to be coming to the campaign with me. I'm pretty confident the Mars class won't be coming. Yeah, actually, I don't think there's any boat that's going to be coming other than this, because I really think I need to redo all my destroyers and my light cruisers and my heavy cruisers all again, because I really feel like we've made a lot of progress, especially with the transition blocks, and we really need to make them fit with the new fleet look. Because if we, I'm just trying to repair this while I chat here, but if we look at the light cruiser compared to this thing, or I don't know, we'll just bring out the in battle class destroyer. There we go. We compare them, one is clearly a different design style than the other, and if we even grab one of my other ships, I don't know, the warrior class light cruiser, even it doesn't really look like it fits with the Dreadnaught, so we will have to definitely just redo the whole fleet, I think, in this new style. But nevertheless, we made some great progress, and we even took on a godly design, I think, wasn't it? Godly Steel Striders design? Yeah. So that's not too bad. So once again, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for 25 subscribers. Thank you for all the advice you've given me. I know not all of it made it into this specific ship, but I have definitely noted down all the advice everyone's given me. Ion engines, you know, railgun guns, propeller placement specifically I'm going to definitely work on my next ship. CWIS system, none of my CWIS systems fire with enough RPM at the moment. I need to be a lot higher in order to make a more effective CWIS system, but this is my first CWIS system, so considering that it's my first one, I don't think we're too bad. Although, just for the sake of interest, we might have a look and just increase the barrels and see. Yeah, so we get to 310 rounds per minute with 3 barrels, and if we go all the way up to 6, we get to 384 rounds per minute. Yeah, I don't know. You guys tell me, what do you think? 4 barrels at 95 millimeters, or 6 barrels at 71 millimeters? Let me just 2581, so we make it 258. Yep, done. Done. Great. Anyway, so thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video, whenever it is. While I destroy all these other ships, which are here. I don't know. Because I can, I guess. Fire! Yeah. Well, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.